Hey everyone, what's up? Mirai here and welcome to a vlog video. In fact, welcome to story time. This is going to be a longer video and it's, I don't know. It's just something to talk about. I need to talk about it, so we're going to talk about it. It's nothing, it's nothing bad, but it's just something that I still don't believe right now. So anyway, what should be happening right now is I should be tearing down the machine that I use to multibox, my main machine at the point. I should have already torn that down today, and I should be piecing together my new case that I got 2 weeks ago. I'm not, though. I'm not. Everything is still assembled. The case is still in pieces, and we're not recording anything at the moment except for a vlog video. So let's talk about why that is. Obviously, it's a delay, and it's always a delay. At this point, I just don't even care. At this point, I'm just about to throw everything into the dumpster and go do something else with my life. But anyway, June 30th. We'll start at June 30th. This is where I make my first purchase for some water cooling equipment from Performance PCs. That's where I get usually all my water cooling stuff. They have a very large selection at that site. So that's where I buy mostly everything. And I purchased some stuff the night of June 30th, and I specifically use my credit card directly through them. And I do that these days anyway. The reason being is because if I use PayPal to charge something and I don't have like a PayPal balance, it takes, for my particular bank, for it to show up at my particular bank, it takes PayPal about 72 hours to show up. And even then, I don't know how everyone else's banks are and how they look in their sites, their web interface and whatnot. But on my bank, whenever I charge something on my card right away, debit or credit, doesn't matter, it shows up as pending activity immediately and it affects the balance overall, right? So PayPal, for me and my bank and its web interface, it does not show up under pending activity. It just shows up 3 days later as a processed payment, and the money has disappeared at that point. So what I'm getting at is that I don't use PayPal to charge a lot of things these days because it kind of throws you off unless you've got like a good note, a good set of notes, something written down, like a checkbook or something, some way that you're balancing your checking accounts, your savings accounts and whatnot. Otherwise, the money is just going to just disappear. You may have forgotten 2 days later. You're like looking at your money, you're like, oh, I've got extra money. Let's buy something else. And then that goes through. And then the next day, the 72-hour mark, PayPal goes through and you're like, oh, shit, So that's happened in the past to me. So I try not to use PayPal unless I have a PayPal balance these days. Or unless it's for something small, like a $10, $15, $20 purchase, something like that, right? So anyway, so the charge shows up right away under pending activity, as expected, as it should. Great. So I go to bed that night, and I know that I still have 2 things to buy, that I'm contemplating whether I should buy these 2 other things, but I'm going to sleep on it. I've been sleeping on it all week, and I've been driving myself crazy. You can ask the people on IRC. They're like, dude, just buy the stuff you want. Just buy it and shut up about it. So I go to sleep that Thursday night. Friday morning, July 1st, I wake up, check my statement because I'm budgeting like crazy here, and I've got 2 charges. There's a second charge for what I purchased the night before. So the night before, when I purchased, I looked and it showed up, and it was not a pre-authorization charge. It was just a straight-up charge. Fine, great. I wake up July 1st, and I have a second pre-authorization charge for the same amount of money. And of course, because it's under pending activity, it is affecting my entire balance. So, I email Performance PCs, and I say, hey, I've got 2 charges here. Do you guys see 2 charges on your end? And they're like, no, we see 1. I'm like, okay. So this has happened in the past, where something shows up under pending activity, but then disappears later when the bank actually goes to process everything altogether. So it's not really all that uncommon that could happen. So I just expect that is what's going to happen. It's just going to disappear. So Friday, I purchase, I also purchased a workbench. So it's not just I purchased a workbench for my apartment, but the main reason I was going to start off using it is that I'm going to put the computer together on it. What I wanted was something, I don't know if everyone is familiar. I'm not entirely sure if this is 100% true, but I believe that the United States standard for countertops is 36 inches tall. So I've been putting computers together on my countertop for all this time, and it kind of sucks, right? I kind of wish that I wasn't putting computers together on my countertop, one, next to the sink, and two, where I kind of try to make food and eat food and stuff throughout the day. So it's kind of a pain in the ass having to constantly load it up with computer stuff. And then when I want to stop, unload it. I need somewhere else to do this. So I bought this bench. It's a 48-inch by 24-inch bench, which is bigger than the space I used to do things on my countertop, and my countertop actually has plenty of space. So I felt this was good. What it's going, after I'm done putting the computer together, it's also going to be used as sort of a countertop extension because it is also 36 inches tall. I was looking at tables. I'm looking at folding tables. They all look like they suck. They're all made in China, and they sag. They're unbalanced. There's tons of bad reviews about all this stuff. So that's why it took me all week to order this bench. I was trying to find a table, and I was like, I don't know what to order. And I was also worried that the plastic top of the folding tables was going to create ESD and, short out my components and stuff. There was tons of concern. I was looking at all kinds of stuff. But then I stumbled upon these workbenches, and I was like, well, this is more expensive than I thought it was going to be, but this is actually going to be good because it's as tall as the countertop, and I need to unload some appliances from my countertop, and I can unload them over there. So great. So I bought this countertop, right? But I also bought a tripod and head, and sort of an unnecessary purchase. This is another one that I fought with all last week, was this tripod and head, because I wasn't sure. I have two tripods as it is. I have a short one and a tall one. Now the tall one, I really have always wanted a second tall tripod because, well, I don't know. It's nice to have a second tall tripod if you've got two cameras. The short one is nice and all, but I would have to put the short one somewhere, probably stack up some boxes or something to figure out how to do that. And then even then the short one doesn't have a level on it, like a bubble level. So you can't really tell if you've got a straight, solid level shot of something, right? And then it always sucks because you can't really tell on these little camera viewfinders whether you're level or not. So when you bring it back up, you bring it into the camera, you bring it into the computer, you're like, oh, that wasn't level. It's off a little bit, right? And it's hard to sometimes straighten that out. So I wanted a second tripod forever, but what I also wanted forever was a fluid head. A fluid head, and if you don't know what those are for panning shots, nice smooth, like left and right smooth panning shots, or up and down, some nice smooth vertical and horizontal motion there. So I've always wanted one of those, and this was maybe the unnecessary part of the purchase, was that it was a combo pack with a very nice tripod and this head on top of it as well. And I was like, well, I've kind of always wanted one of those heads. The thing was, I wasn't sure how to justify the head beyond putting the computer together, but I wanted to do some really cool pan shots and whatnot. I wanted to at least try to do some cool pan shots and whatnot for the computer, and that little series of putting computer stuff together here coming up for what I want to do. Hopefully all that happens. But so I bought the tripod and the head anyway. And great, that was Friday, and I wasn't expecting anything to come until next week, which would have been this week. So right now as I record this, it's Friday. You might not see it till later tonight, and you might not see it actually till tomorrow on Saturday. But so whatever, holiday weekend, I knew that the banks weren't going to be processing anything, and I was going to have a ton of pending activity all built up and backed up. So whatever. So I just waited. Tuesday comes, and my water cooling stuff comes, but I still got two pending charges. I still got the double charge pending there. So the banks haven't processed everything at this point. I've still got tons of pending charges. And I'm like, okay, I guess we'll just wait till Wednesday. So Wednesday rolls around, and this is when my camera, my tripod, and my head are delivered, as well as the workbench. And I checked that morning, and of course, both of those charges have gone through. So I got charged twice for the water cooling equipment. And this is just the tip. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is where it begins. This is where it all begins. So now I've been charged twice for some water cooling equipment. And then my tripod is delivered and my workbench is delivered. And I go to the gym after that, and I come back and I'm just kind of chilling out. I haven't unpacked anything. I haven't checked anything at this point. And I will later that day. I'm just unwinding from the gym. I'm, drinking my post-workout drink because people on YouTube are very judgmental. They're saying, Mirai, you look like you're flabby, or Mirai, it looks like you're losing some muscle mass there. So I've got an image to maintain. So the gym is a very important place to be. So I did all that, and it's getting later in the afternoon, and I figure, you know what? I'm going to check out this tripod. I'm going to look at this because actually the box that the tripod came in was damaged. Of course, it's damaged. So I pull that out. I always do as like a liability thing. These days, I always record myself unboxing stuff straight from, the box that it was shipped in, just so I can cover my ass and say, hey, the box is smashed. There's this physical damage to it. This is broken. Something's messed up. So people don't think that I bought something, I unboxed it, and then I dropped it, and then I'm like, oh, I want an RMA with this, right? When it was really my fault to begin with. So I do this unboxing, and the outside box is damaged. And of course, I pull out the inside box, and it looks actually worse off than the outside box was. So this thing's really been smashed. So I'm like, oh, fuck. This is all I need right now on a Wednesday in the middle of the week when I'm going to be trying to recording this weekend. This is all I need is a damaged piece of equipment, right? So I unbox it, and it looks fine. It looks absolutely fine. I do the unboxing on camera. I'm like, there's no physical damage to it. I'm looking as close as I can. There's no physical damage to this unit. Great. Okay, fine. I just, put it aside. I say I'll test it later. And so, I don't know. I procrastinated for a little bit and screwed around, and it's probably more like borderline late afternoon, early evening at this point. It's probably about 4:30 or something like that where I decide, you know what, maybe I should test out this camera, test out a camera on this tripod to see if it's working as it should be, because I wasn't expecting to record for another 2 days. So I really wasn't going to look at it for another day or two. But the box being smashed is kind of making me paranoid at this point. And I'm thinking, well, everything's going to go wrong. Everything could possibly go wrong. And sure enough, so I equip a camera to it. And I'm also recording me testing it out as well. So I test it out. And of course, because it's a fluid head, like I said, it has to have a nice, smooth, frictionless, adjustable, of course, though, left and right, and horizontal and vertical axes have to be nice and smooth for those nice, smooth pan shots. And while the horizontal was perfect, spun around perfectly, the vertical was completely fucked. It wasn't even close to being working. The drag, whether I turned the drag all the way up or all the way down, it was very, very much the same in terms of the amount of friction that was put on it, and it was way too much. It was way too much. There was no possible way to get a smooth shot out of it. In addition to that being screwed up, locking the head down, because you can lock the axes as well, locking the head down horizontally still caused it to wobble left and right. The head was shot. There was still no physical damage. I looked once again. I recorded all of this on camera so that I could show B&H Photo, where I bought it from, show them that this was indeed damaged, and I need to do an RMAs. But at this point, it's it's getting late, and I know that I can't order another tripod and have it shipped the same day. But I'm also contemplating, would they maybe cross ship one to me? I told them I'm trying to record some video this weekend. Maybe they're going to be awesome about it and cross ship me one. Anyway, I put in a ticket, I give them the video, and I didn't expect a response at all until the next day, because I believe at that point they were closed for the day. I forget exactly what time I emailed them, but I believe it was right around the time that they were closing, so I wasn't expecting anything. But lo and behold, 10, 15 minutes later, I got an automated reply with an RMA form already filled out for me, and then an actual reply from a human being saying, look, it looks fucked, so here, why don't you send it back to us? There was no talk about any cross-shipping or anything like that, so I figured, they had already filled in the refund box for me, and I figured they were just going to give me my money back whenever it got there. But of course, because it's an RMA, I have to send it back to them, and then they get it, and then they look at it, and then they're like, yeah, this is broken, and then they issue the refund. And then that takes 3 to 5 days to get that. So I'm not even going to see a refund for that until the end of next week, right? Because I just shipped it back to them yesterday, which would have been Thursday. They're probably not going to get it. They might get it Saturday. I don't know. They might get it Saturday, but I'm still not going to get money back until late next week. So now I'm thinking, what do I do, right? I want to record this weekend still. I can get another tripod, but I know that they're not going to ship anything out to me today. So I've got some time to think about it. Let's focus on this bank problem right now. So I don't want to contact Performance PCs again. I want to contact my bank to say, hey, is this a glitch in the matrix, in the system? Or did I really get charged twice? Is something going on? Is something else going on here? So I call my bank. Of course, it's late. It's early evening, and I know everyone and their mother is home from work at this point. I know it's going to be high wait time. I'm thinking this is going to suck. So whatever, but I have to call them because I want to know. So I call them, and of course, it's a 30-plus minute wait time. But they give me the option to say, hey, it's such a long wait time. Why don't you, here's an option. Do you want us to call you back? Give us your phone number. Give us your name. We'll call you back when, you're not going to lose your spot in the queue. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. But I've got over 30 minutes now. So why don't I take a shower, right? Why don't I take a shower? So I put in my number and, I hang up with them and I'll have a call back in 30 minutes or more. So I decided it's time to take a shower. But I kind of dick around a little bit before the shower. Maybe I look at like a site or something. Maybe I'm doing something on IRC. I don't exactly remember what I was doing. But then I jump in the shower. But I brought my phone into the bathroom with me, just in case they call. My phone is waterproof. And so I wasn't too worried about answering it in the shower, if I had to. Because I don't want to miss this call, right? I want to know if I've been double charged or not. So I'm waiting, and all the way through the shower, I'm waiting for a call. No call, but I'm not really expecting a call because it was going to be over 30 minutes. Here I am. I'm in the last 3 minutes of my shower. My hands are completely soaped up. I'm trying to scrub my face. So I've got soap all over my face. I have soap all over my hands, and the phone rings. The phone rings, and nobody ever calls me. So, of course, this has to be the bank. The only other person that calls me is my mother. It's highly unlikely that this is my mother, and it's very likely that this is the bank. So the phone rings. I am furiously trying to wash the soap off of my hands, not even worried about my face. Trying to wash the soap off of my hands. I don't want a super soapy phone. Regardless that it's waterproof, I don't want to be dropping it in the shower. But by the time I fling open the curtain and I'm reaching to the phone, stops ringing. Stops ringing. I'm so pissed at this point. That day, I've got a broken tripod that I know I may not actually get another tripod in time for this video. Now I have to call the bank back again and sit on another expected 30-minute wait to talk to these people. I'm just postponing the whole process of figuring out whether I've got a double charge on there or not. I'm totally pissed at this point. I'm incredibly pissed. I haven't been this pissed in probably a very long time, but it's just things. It's just first world problems. I understand, but I'm completely pissed. I get out of the shower and I dry off and I call them back. I'm thinking that it's going to be a long wait time, but this time it's only 12 to 15 minutes that they're estimating, but they don't give me the option of getting a call back. So now I have to sit on the phone. And great. So I put it on speakerphone. I'm doing things. And all of a sudden, I've got call waiting. It's the bank calling me back from my original call back insertion in the queue and whatever. So they're calling me back a second time because I guess they understand that people sometimes miss that call. So I flip over. I answer the phone. Fantastic. That was great. I talked to the lady on the phone. She said, yes, it looks like you've been double charged. Definitely. So I'm like, okay, thank you. Now I'm going to talk to Performance PCs one more time. So I get off the phone with her. I email Performance PCs one more time. It's probably close to 7 o'clock at night at this point. And of course, it's beyond their business hours as well. And I was not expecting a reply back from them at all. I email them, trying to be as nice as I can. I'm saying, hey, look, I just talked to my bank. This definitely looks like it went through twice. So I have to ask you guys again, are you certain that I was not charged twice? Because if you say that your records don't show that I was not charged twice, my only course of action at this point is disputing the transaction through my bank. And, when you do that, it's kind of a dick thing because then it becomes a chargeback. And, if it's confusing, if it's a real issue, then it'll be fine. But if it somehow, causes a chargeback and then it's a mark against them and their financial institution or whatever, that's bad, right? And then they generally don't like to do business with people who do chargebacks to them. But I like ordering stuff from Performance PCs, and I told them that in the email, and I said, look, I like ordering stuff from you guys, but really, if your records don't show two charges, I have no other course of action except to just dispute this through my bank. 10 minutes later, they email me back. They say, yeah, we charged it twice, so let's issue a refund, right? Now, of course, that was Wednesday. Today's Friday. I still don't have that money because refunds take forever. They take your money very quickly, but they refund it, at their own leisure. So I still don't have that money refunded to me. But of course, that's today, of course. But then going back to Wednesday, we're still on Wednesday because Wednesday is certainly not over. Wednesday is certainly not over. So I dig around a little bit more, doing whatever. And it's about 8:30, and I'm trying to research whether I want to get this head again, the tripod and the head again, or maybe I want to try to get something else. I don't know. So I'm looking around. I'm making sure because, I don't know. There were bad reviews about the head and tripod setup, so I was a little hesitant to reorder it. But then, of course, there's plenty of good reviews, so it's like, okay, well, fine. I'm just going to reorder it. It's 9 o'clock at night. Nothing's getting shipped out tonight, clearly, because B&H is always is also on the East Coast where I am. So if it's 9 o'clock where I am, it's 9 o'clock at B&H over in New York. So I go to place the order, and through B&H, I'm so close to B&H because we're in the same time zone that I get 2-day free shipping from them, free expedited shipping. So great. So I opt for the free expedited shipping of 2 days, and it's that Wednesday, and I know it's not going to get shipped out till Thursday, the next day, but they're estimating that this head and tripod will not be delivered until Monday, July 11th. So that once again puts a damper on the plans to record this week. And I'm thinking, what do I do? Should I overnight this? Because I can get it here Friday. Apparently their expedited shipping does not deliver on Saturdays, which kind of sucks. Not very expedited if you ask me. But so here I am. I'm stuck with this option of paying $34 for overnight shipping and getting it here in the afternoon, or paying $39, just $5 more, and guaranteeing it here by 10:30 a.m. Friday morning. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I can be ready to record Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. So I opt for the by 10:30 a.m. Shipping, the $39 shipping. Of course, this adds, the additional $40 to the overall price at this point that I wasn't expecting to have, but whatever, right? This is for the video. I want to put the computer together, $40. I'll just skip some junk food for the next 2 weeks and save those $40. So then I decide to check the workbench. I still have not unboxed the workbench. So it's after 9 o'clock at night. And the workbench is 2 boxes. It comes with its legs and it comes with a top. 2 completely separate boxes. So I open up the legs box and they seem normal. Everything seems like it's there. It does look to be missing some hardware because they are, the legs are extendable. They normally start at 26 inches or something like that, or maybe 30 inches, but they're extendable up to 36 inches. So there's no additional hardware for the extension because it's a hole in the leg that you put a bolt through it and you to hold it in place, to lock it in place. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe the hardware is in the other top. The other box with the top. So I open up that box and I peek into the box. It's a very tall box, obviously 48 inches tall top. So 52 inch tall box. I look in there and I see particle board. I see a particle board top. Now, I guess I didn't mention this before, but I ordered a top that should have laminate on it, not particle board. So this is more like a kitchen counter, right? They offer several tops, though. They offer like a butcher block top. They offer the particle board top, the laminate steel top. They offer chemical resistant top, ESD free top. All those are pretty expensive, though. So I just opted for the laminate. And so I look at this. I peek inside the box, and it's not laminate. I'm thinking, well, maybe this is the back of the top. Maybe not all sides are laminated with the Formica laminate. So then I reach in and I touch the top of it, touch the bottom of it. Both sides are fucking particle board top. I have been sent the wrong top for the workbench. I am blown away at this point. I cannot fathom how much has gone wrong to stop this weekend's computer assembly. I cannot. I am blown away. And so at this point, I'm thinking I have the wrong top. It's too late. If I would have opened it and checked it earlier when I first got it, I would have known way ahead of time because the company is actually on the West Coast, so they're 3 hours behind me. It's after 9 o'clock at night at this point. So it's after 6 over there. They're already closed. If I would have opened it, say like 2 to 3 hours earlier, they would have been open. I would have been able to put, this discrepancy and tell them about this discrepancy. And I may have had another top shipped out that Wednesday. Unfortunately, now I have to wait till that Thursday, which was yesterday as of real time, to let them know about the bad top. So here I am. I'm thinking, well, now it's unnecessary for me to pay the additional $40 to have this tripod and head overnighted to me. So right away, it's been like 10 minutes since I placed that order, right? I placed the order for the tripod and I got up and I checked the top and I'm like, maybe it's been like 15 minutes because I did unbox the legs, which were very quick to unbox. There was nothing in there but 2 metal legs, 2 metal sets of legs. So I go to the B&H site. I go to cancel the order. It cancels without any issue, but I've already been charged. And what does that mean? That means I'm not going to see a refund for that cancellation for 3 to 5 more days. So at this point, I am not completely, but I don't actually have enough money to rebuy the head and the tripod one more time so that I could just go with the free shipping option and save the $40. I don't have enough money at this point. So still to this day, I still have not received a single refund for anything that I've gotten, for anything that I've purchased and canceled or needed a refund on. I still don't have a refund to this day. So we still don't have enough money to repurchase the head and the tripod. So that won't be repurchased until probably Monday. 2 days from there is Wednesday of next week. I still don't have a tracking number for my top. Well, I was supposed to have a tracking number yesterday. I'm actually going to email them right after this to see, hey, do you have a tracking number for my top yet? Because I'd like to know when that's coming. It's a very heavy top, and I'd like to be here when they deliver it so that I don't have to go somewhere else, pick it up, and lug it back to my apartment. So this is my story. It's been a very, very long story. So to recap, I have a double charge that I had to go through and figure out if it was real or not. It is indeed real. I have actually been double charged, and still to this day, I don't have a refund for that double charge yet. Don't have it yet. I purchased a head and tripod to help with the video recording for this next set of videos. Came damaged, sent it back just yesterday, and of course, that'll be late next week by the time I receive a refund for that. I received the wrong top to my workbench, so I can't put the workbench together. And they're sending me a new top and letting me keep the old top. I don't know what I'm going to do with this particle board top. Who knows? Probably just throw it out. I have nothing to do with it. I don't have a garage or anything where I can set up another workbench for anything like that. So there's that. So there will be no computer assembly this weekend, and that will likely all be postponed until next weekend or late next week as well, because I have to wait for the tripod. I have to wait for the head. I have to wait for all of this stuff. So I want to get it all on camera. I want to document it better than I did last time. So there's my story. It's been probably about 30 minutes. And if you've been listening all this time, thank you. Thank you. I hopefully didn't come off as bitching. I'm not complaining about anyone not doing their job, not capable of doing their job. It's just an incredible streak of bad luck. What the fuck? Unbelievable. Something is telling me, don't take the computer apart and don't put the new stuff together. Don't worry. I've ordered some additional components that could easily be broken or failed upon putting everything together, piecing everything together. They could still be bad. I bought some new cool stuff that I haven't had a chance to test yet, and I won't have a chance to test it until we've got the new system together. So there's plenty of other points throughout this assembly where things could fail and be bad and need to be R-made and whatnot. So we're hoping for next weekend to be putting together the computer. But until then, I've got some time to put out some more videos. So you're going to be seeing the last of the vanilla content for the Paladins, maybe some TBC content from the Paladins. I'm working on that right now. I've split it up, and that is, with my new way of editing and doing everything, it should be a little bit faster and easier for me to get some of that stuff out. So hopefully that, working on a Rift video series. Yeah, working on a Rift video series. That's pretty cool. Hopefully that will likely have to wait until after the new computer is together, because there's, I'd like to do the video series all together rather than do some of it now, put together a new computer, and then do the rest of it later. I'd like it all just to kind of be on the new computer or on the same computer. So there's that. got some, I mean, there's always videos to make. There really is. And I am running behind. I've been a little bit procrastinating here, but it's just been like going crazy about this new build. I just want the build to be over. I just want this to be finished. I just want it all to be over. And I want my computers to just be normal. I want to throw half of my shit that's sitting around in my apartment. I want to throw it out because I know I won't need it anymore. It just all needs to be over. And I just want to be back to a normal system, a semi-normal system, making videos and doing what I do best. So there's that. Thank you for watching. It's been a very long video. Of course, there will be more videos coming soon. But that's it. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.